both really enjoyed A Castle for Christmas. Brooke, you have a great scene right at the beginning with you're on the Drew Barrymore show and you're having a bit of a meltdown on stage, and acting is often so much about the subtleties. So how fun was it getting to just go all out in that scene?
There's nothing subtle about that scene or the acting in it. And that's what I love about comedy, is that it's not safe. And and you really can't pull back on any of it. Otherwise, it's just not comedy. So I love anytime my character, or I play a character that is a bit unhinged. I just think the messiness of it and the awkwardness of it and the sort of hysteria is, I just think it's really appealing, especially because she's in this great suit and she has her hair done and she just loses it. And that's funny to me.
Cary, I thought it was so interesting that you were related to the real life inspiration for Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah.
And while your character in A Castle for Christmas is quite different, you get to play the sort of grumpy role at first. Was it fun kind of connecting to your past in that way?
Sure. No, I mean, the similarities are that he's obviously somebody who doesn't celebrate Christmas and doesn't understand that, and a little bit of a bah humbug, and he's a little bit of a hermit too. So yeah, there was some similarities, and it was nice to touch on that. And yeah. I mean, I can't believe I'm related to the guy that Dickens faked Ebenezer Scrooge on, but I am. But I actually, as Brooke will tell you, I'm very generous when it comes to paying bills. I always try and buy people dinner and lunch. So I'm not that guy at all.
Anti-Scrooge when it comes to generosity.
Thank you.
There we go. I'm glad that broke off in the generations between. Yes. So, Brooke, I was just so amazed by the chemistry in this film. There's a real electricity in the early interactions, even though you're not getting along, but you can still tell there's a spark there. Did you get to do much bonding offset, or how did you build that relationship?
We did. I mean, we were so lucky because we really couldn't leave sort of our bubble, as a crew and cast. And so we were kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and many a meal, many a dinner, many days that we had off, we would explore, and it's important. It was a lovely experience because it reminded me of the way movies, when like Blue Lagoon, where we lived on an island for forever, that kind of similar focus, similar camaraderie. We all had to learn how to do the dances, and I had to practice drinking whiskey every day. I wanted to really get good at it. And he helped me, or encouraged me with that.
It's great. Yeah, no, it's true. We had dinner pretty much every night. We have a wonderful producer, Brad Crevaway, who believes in all of us having dinner together and keeping the cast together. And so, yeah, I mean, I bonded right away with Brooke. I'd met her briefly many, many years ago, even though she didn't remember, but I shook her hand once at Studio 54 back in the early 80s. And but I knew all about her and followed her career. And so when they told me she was going to be playing Sophie Myles, I was like, oh, well, where do I sign on this? Perfect. And we hit it off right away. And I just found the whole experience so joyful. And I think,
and also the culture, the culture, we really appreciated the culture, and the dances and the music, and really just sort of celebrated that. And it was, it didn't feel like work at all.
No, it didn't.
And then my last question, Cary, I always love seeing love stories that don't really focus on people in their 20s, and sure that romance doesn't end after you hit 30. Can you speak to just that aspect of the film and the theme of finding second chances after past relationships didn't work out?
Yeah, well, I think, it was refreshing to come across a script where we didn't have to play characters who were trying to be younger than themselves. They're showing that people of our age, our generation, can fall in love. I mean, I think it's particularly harder for women today than it is for men. But I think I can speak for Brooke when I say we were both excited about that, because it's refreshing, and these two characters, they may not be victims or looking to be saved, but for some reason they bring something to this journey, with this relationship between the two of them, where they completely unexpectedly end up teaching each other a number of things, which is lovely.